It's Madame Torres, and I am here today.
It's Madame Torres, your French teacher, and this video is to get you into the rest of this week and also get you into next week into your French course. Our next Class Connect session will be on Tuesday, August 21st. So please make sure that you are able to attend that live session. It will be down here where you have your sessions to attend. So as you can see, this was last week we had our iReady sessions going on. So this week you'll have other Class Connect sessions loaded up here. So I am obviously recording this ahead of time, but I want to go through and make sure you understand how to navigate through your class plan, that you already watched the welcome video and you checked out my class announcement. On August 15th, Wednesday, you still had some lessons to complete, which have to do with Lesson 3. So the way the calendar is set out is I actually have a link for the lesson, and then whenever you have an assignment due, I also have a link directly to the assignment. So make sure you check that out. On Wednesday, you had a little pop quiz in Lesson 3, as well as a reading comprehension. On Thursday, you had Lesson 4 to complete, along with a listening comprehension quiz, a little culture quiz, and then a little quiz on France. So when it comes to these assignments, it looks like it's doubled up here, but don't worry, it's the same thing. When it comes to these quizzes, I know it looks like a lot, but really all of this, they're very short little lessons and little short quizzes on the content that you just read. So it's important that you read through that content and take a couple of little notes on it. So let's go ahead and look at what you have starting on Monday next week and to prepare you for class on Tuesday. Next week, you're going to get into the second unit. You're going to begin Unit 2. That's why it says Lesson 1 on Monday. So you'll work through Unit 2. Now, I want to give you a little idea of how your course is actually set up. So when I click on Content, I can actually see everything that I'm going to have to complete in the entire semester. It's only the semester. Each week, we're going to go through one unit. So if you check out how in one unit you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons, that's one for each day. Typically this is how it will happen. Unless we have a day off during the week, then I'll have to adjust it. We might do 2 lessons in a day, or I might cut out one of the lessons or part of the lesson. But if not, you'll always have at least one lesson to do each day. Now, Lesson 1 is usually just a lot of practice. So let me go ahead and click on Semester 1 so you can see from the beginning. Semester 1, Unit 1, you start with objectives, you have your vocabulary, you have your vocabulary list is right there. It's always going to be in Lesson 1, Unit 1, Lesson 1 here. You have some practice. These looks like a lot, but it really is not that much. You can read through them, practice them, click on everything. There's always directions on how to do everything. Unit 1, Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is also the same. Lesson 1 is usually vocabulary. Lesson 2 is where you get into grammar. And grammar is very important as well. So in Lesson 2, for example, in this first unit, you learned about subject pronouns, which is how to say I am, you, he, she, we, they, those kinds of things. Lesson 3 is when you start to have assignments due. It's usually where you have the pop quiz, so you'll always have like the pop quiz in Lesson 3 and either a listening comprehension or reading comprehension quiz to complete. So as you can see, you have a reading passage and then you have a little quiz right after. Lesson 4 is also some more practice. These are just practice. Practicing what you learned. You'll again have either a listening comprehension quiz or a reading comprehension quiz in Lesson 4 and a couple culture quizzes. And then Lesson 5 is just for your test. Sometimes you'll have a writing portion of the test, sometimes you'll have a speaking portion of the test, along with a multiple choice test. So those are some things to keep in mind. Again, Lesson 1 and 2 are review, or are introductions. Vocabulary introduction in Lesson 1, grammar introduction Lesson 2. Lessons 3 and 4 are where you have quizzes and practice, applying what you learned in Lessons 1 and 2. And Lesson 5 is always the test at the end of that. That's how all of these units are set up. So each week you'll have a unit to complete. Next week we'll work on Lesson 1 and Lesson 2 in class on Tuesday. We're also going to review a lot of what you learned in Unit 1 because everything is scaffolded. What that means is what you learned in the first unit, you review again in the second, and then the third, and the fourth, and you just keep adding on to what you already know. So it's important that you pay attention from the very beginning. Along with this video, I'm going to send you a little guide on how to review for the Unit 1 test with a couple little practice problems. So make sure that you check out the news item, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bon weekend. Merci.